Imagine that joy of actually going from damn it, I've actually lost this profile account, to wait a minute, we still have a chance. Well, that's basically all what this video is about. If you be following my YouTube channel, you recall that back in the month of December, I actually made a video whereby I bought a new 25k profile account from Blueberry Funded, which is a profile I'm personally using. And at a point, I was in a serious drawdown that I even made a video about, if I'm not mistaken. But guess what, today we are actually back on top, and now our main focus is actually passing the prop firm. But the big question here is simply, what exactly did I do to go from almost losing this prop firm to actually being up in profit? And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to share to you, so that you as a trader out there as well, whether a live account trader or a prop firm trader as well, you won't lose hope even though you are almost done losing the firm account. But as long as you have a little bit of capital, and the advice I'm going to give you in this video, you are likely to still come back on top again, just as I did. I went from almost losing the firm to actually being back up again, and now focusing more on passing the firm. So guys, here is the account right now. For those of you who be following, you know that I have two Blueberry accounts. I have the 5k account that I recently passed. You can see I'm actually funded 5k on this prop firm already. So I basically passed this challenge just on the 21st. So I got the live account on the 21st of February, and I'm recording this video on the 26th of February. Yeah, on the 26th of February. So you can see, and also I'm actually up $126 in a live account already, and this has actually qualified me for withdrawal. But then I just have one more trading day left. So before you can withdraw, you have 3 trading days, and I'm actually 1 trading day away from actually getting my first withdrawal from them. But now guys, let's keep this funded account aside. We'll talk about it. I've already made a video about how I actually passed phase 1, phase 2 and got funded. That video will be flashing at the top. You can go watch it as well. Now let's forget about this one. Let's focus on the big guy on the industry, which is this 25k account. You can see, so here's the 25k account. You can see my balance is back to 25k, even though my equities are 24,993. So the reason why I see that I'm actually down here simply because I have a trade running right now. You can see I have this trade on Euro AUD, a sell position on Euro AUD. You can see the market gave me a market shift here, gave me a breakout structure here to the downside. So basically, I got my supply level, got my liquidity level here. You can see the market tap into the level, gave me the close outside. So I basically took my sell position, and I'm now waiting for the sell to actually play out. But then we're already up 25k. So now let me go back to the metrics and actually show you how I went down. You can see, so here is the account. Let me just go down and show you without going. You can see my lowest volume, meaning that my account balance went from 25,000 to 24,000. Okay, basically we went as high as $26,238. From here way down to $24,214. So you can see the huge amount of money we actually lose. This almost over $1,000 was actually lose within a short period of time. And it was really crazy because I didn't expect something like that to come up based on how I've been flowing with profits, because I've passed this is this 5k account is the second or third profit account I'm actually passing. One was with my funded capital before this 5k on Blueberry, and then now another 25k on the pipeline on Blueberry again. So you can see that what a 25k account I took to 26,238 came as low as $24,214 before we came back up to where we are today again. Now the big question is, how exactly did I actually do this? And the truth is that, well, it's very easy to do. You yourself can actually do it, because one thing about me is that I record all my trade. You can see, but in the month of December it actually hits differently. It made me believe why a lot of people don't trade in the month of December. Now guys, that was as low as we actually went before I came back on top. Now the main purpose of this video is to actually share with you the tips that actually brought me on top. So let's focus on those ones for the betterment of this video. So now guys, when I noticed that I was actually on a serious losing streak in the month of December and my prop firm was actually going down, the first thing I do was simply I stopped trading in the month of December. Yes, it got to a point in the month of December where I stopped trading, because I see that what I'm using the same setup that I've been using to win trade all year long started giving me problems in the month of December. Though I also passed one prop firm in the month of December. If you recall carefully, my funded capital prop firm that I traded, I passed it in the month of December. You can watch the video at the top there. So the same period where I passed that particular prop firm, I was really down on my other Blueberry prop firm account, and I also posted it in my Telegram channel as well. So when I noticed this, one thing I basically did was that what I paused all my profit account, both the ones that I'm up in profit, both the one that I'm still in the text phase. I paused at that particular stage, and I was waiting for January patiently. And I think this is one of the best things I did. And I will advise you that what, if you notice that what, you are in your losing streak, even though you might be making some side profit here and there, but if you see that what, you are in your losing streak as a trader, the best thing I advise to do is simply take 1 or 2 weeks off. So basically I took 1 week off because I traded from the first week to the third week of December. It was the fourth week that I was like, man, at this point I should basically just cut it off and then just have a rest, because the market is not giving me what I actually want. So I basically sit back and I waited for January to come before I resumed trading. So here's the first advice on how you can actually recover your profit account. Is simply, once you notice you're on your losing streak, take it slow and then stop trading. I personally did this and it helped me, because who knows, I might have blew the whole account during that second week of December. The second thing I did was basically I lowered my risks per trade. So I'm trading whilst recording this video, so you need to understand the discussion. So one thing I basically did was that I lowered my risk. So after the December whole saga person got into January, I had to cut my risks very low. So from risking 1% per trade, I started risking 0.5 and 0.3% per trade. Now the reason why I was doing this is simply because I want to get back on track. Yes, the main purpose is that I want to get back on track, because if I keep risking 1%, which means that I will go down really faster, because I was already down massively already. So still risking that same amount will actually push me way down. And I don't want to go down the drain, because I really love this account. I bought it with my money. The account actually cost me $120 something, but with my discount code that will be available in this video description, you can get it for just, you can get a 25k blueberry account for just 95 or $96, including transaction fees. Everything will be $96. So you can use my blueberry link down in the description as well. So basically I paid $90 something for the account, and then even though it's a small amount of money, it doesn't mean that I should just waste it, like I should just burn it like that when I'm a good trader, when I could actually revive this account. So basically I had to sit back, and then in the month of January I cut short my risk. I started risking between 0.5% to 0.3%. Now this is what I keep doing, 0.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.3 per trade, until gradually I started climbing back up. So I got to a point that I started risking 0.6%, 0.6%, 0.6%. And then I took it back to 0.5% again. And that is the level I maintained until I went back from that huge drawdown to be back on top again to the actual 25k that I started with initially. So the second tip here, actually, when it comes to reviving your profit account, is simply, once you notice you are in your losing streak, and then follow the first instruction of actually taking 1 week or 2 weeks break. Now once you come back from that break, don't resume with your first your initial 1% risks that you were using, but then lower the risks to make sure that what, it will keep you on the safe side. So in case you come back and you're still in the losing period, you won't be losing that much. Now a lot of you beginners, when you are trading firms, you have this thing that when you are losing, you tend to risk more because you want to use one trade to quickly cover up for everything. But then that is the greatest mistake you can ever make, because if you try to risk more, you will actually end up blowing the account very faster. So for that reason, I advise you, when you notice that you're in your losing streak, cut short your losses. Like even when I'm in my winning streak and I see that what some of my trades are giving me some problems, I basically cut short my losses. Now despite being up 25k again on this account, I'm actually risking just $130 for this particular trade. And guess what? I'm targeting a very massive return. So I'm just looking about $130 or $150 in this trade. In a 25k account whereby my 1% should be $250, I'm actually risking just $130 or $150 for this trade. This alone tells you that what, I don't play with my risk management game, and it's the best thing ever you should do. Now the third thing you should actually do is simply have a solid risk to reward game. Like play the risk to reward game. Now what I mean by the risk to reward game is simply, I started targeting, like when I'm taking a trade, I always look for a clearer target. So if I'm risking 0.5% of my account, for every single profit I make, I want it to be at least 1%, 2%, or 3% and above. Now the purpose of this is simply because I'm risking 0.5%, and if I'm just going for 0.5% to 0.5%, just looking for a 1:1 risk to reward, if I should go on 2-game losing streak, that means I've lost 1%. And if I should win 2 again, I've won back 1%, meaning 1% will cancel out 1%, and I'm still at where I got started from. So basically what I do is that what, if I'm risking 0.5%, I'll be targeting at least 1% back, which is times 2. But then in most cases, I was actually targeting 1.5% back, which is times 3 of my risks. So basically, one thing I also advise to do is simply, if you find yourself in your losing era as a firm trader, or even in your own personal life account, I advise to cut short your losses. Now, after you cut short your losses, make sure that for every single trade you are taking, should give you a long target. At least make times 3 of whatever thing you are risking back. So that even you are in your losing streak, a single win can cancel out a lot of losses. This will actually help you stay afloat no matter what. And this is what I'm still doing till today. Like basically, in my 5K account that I got funded live today, that 5K account, I took a trade today. And guess what? In that particular trade, which is the 5K account, 1% should be $50. Now, I was already up $49 from the previous trade I took in that particular account. Now, despite being up, I did not risk $50 for a single trade. What I basically did was that I risked just, was it $30, be $27. And I risked $27 and then I got out at about $80, $90 to complete it, the 126 you're actually seeing in that live account. So one thing I do is that even when I'm up at float, I always like risking less and then targeting more. Because as long as I'm risking less and targeting more, it will actually keep me afloat. And that is the one big thing I also advise to do, simply risk less and target more. Now, you see for that 25K account that you are seeing, that 5K account you are seeing there. Now, for every single trade I'm going to take next, I'll basically be risking that 26 you see on top. That 26 will be my risk, meaning I'll be targeting for a huge profit return. This one thing I also advise you do also is simply, if you really want to get back on your firm when you are almost killing it, change your channel and then start targeting more profit with lower risk. Like basically, you'll be like, if I'm risking 0.5%, I'm not going to make huge profit back within a short period of time. Now, the goal is that what you are not looking forward to get back in a short period of time. You are looking forward to get back on track. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. The most important thing to you is actually getting back on track. Like, let me take you over to my Notion. Now, here we are in our notepad. You can see. Now, here was it. You can see from even January wasn't looking good. Now, take a look at my trade from January 2nd. Wasn't also looking with 3 losses in a row. Then I had 1 win. This win actually canceled these 3 losses out. Then I had another loss again. Then I came to this little winning streak here that we're tapping up at break even. Then I came back here again, had another loss, had this winner. Then I had 3 losses in a row again. This was in February. So from February 7 to February 11, I had 3 losses in a row. Then from February 12, that's when the whole game changed. You can see I had a winner here, had another winner here, had another winner here. Now each of these break evens you are seeing actually gave me at least a 1:2 risks to reward or 1:3 risks to reward back. Because one thing I do with my trade is that what? If I'm in a trade and then the trade is up maybe 1:3, I'm not going to close it out fully. I'll just shift my break even to 1:2. So in case the trade return, I'll just get out. Now before I won't put it at that level, there are criteria I look for before I keep it at that 1:2 level. So in case you want to know these criteria, you can basically watch that video that is flying at the top there. That video actually breaks down how I personally manage my trade to actually give me this distance risk to reward. So even when the trade comes to hit my break even, trust me, I'm not just getting some penny back, I'm getting a decent amount back from that break-even point. So from here, I had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it was 6 in a row. From February 12 to February 19, that was 7 days, but I had 6 wins in a row. Now with this one, everything got close up, and then I will use this opportunity to pass my 25K account as well. I believe, yeah, the trade that passed my 25K account is within here, my 5K account. So from here was where I passed the 5K account and at the same time went up on the 25K account. After that, I had BTC USD. I shared this trade in our Telegram community. We were up in profit and then I asked to go break even. Then market came to tap us out at break even and then went further on. Then UK 100, February 20th, I had an L on UK 100 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I had an L on UK 100. Immediately I took the trade went to sweep me out before I started buying again. Then today, you can see February 26th, I had a winner on GBP Chef, meaning that what from February 12th to date, we are basically leading the line. Now, one big mistake a lot of you find yourself in when you're in your losing streak is simply changing your strategies. Now, one thing I advise you to do is simply, if that strategy has gotten you a decent win in the past, and you get into a losing streak, don't change that strategy, but basically re-strategize, relax, and then come back into the market when you think you are recharged enough to actually get back into the market. So for me, I did not change my strategy. I stick to the same strategy, and I stick to the strategy, stick to my initial plans. The only thing I did is simply play with my risks per trade. Either I risk 1%, I risk below 1%. So I basically risk from 1% and below for every single trade. just to make sure that what my losses are less and my wins will be great. So guys, with this, hope to see you in my next video.